SeaTracker's Blood, Chapter 2. The snowy days, in their own beautiful yet mysterious way, had arrived in New England. The leaves of fall had faded away. The fearful among us had begun to question the disappearance of their children. Were they taken away by a plane, or could it be something else? Had the government been hiding behind closed curtains, reluctant to reveal the reality of what was happening? Soon, someone will find out. In cold, frozen Charleston, police were preoccupied with investigating the elephant in the room. Sarah. Her family claimed she was vacationing in Hawaii. Suspicions grew stronger after a government official in Charleston found her in a park near the bench where she had been seen talking to Caleb on a rainy day. The official knew she was special and believed she could jeopardize their mission. A week later, Sarah packed her suitcase with winter clothes, from a coat to a beanie and a hat, to avoid recognition by the government after seeing her face and ID on TV. She quietly and cautiously left the house, careful not to wake any family members. The squeak of the door alerted her little sister. Sarah panicked, but managed a calm gasp. "It will be okay, Chelsea. I will be back in no time. Make sure our parents are happy and proud," she said. As Sarah stood at the door about to leave, her sister said, "I love you, and I believe you are good. I just know it." With tears in her eyes, Sarah walked away, the sounds of her sister crying growing louder, hearts pounding. Sarah looked around in the middle of the night, her thoughts preoccupied with what might have been chasing her and who could have been stalking her under these circumstances. As she passed the market selling hoodies, she felt anxious and uncertain about what to do next. She grabbed a black hoodie and ran faster than she ever had before, her breathing growing deeper. A moment later, a medium-sized dark rock appeared. "Ouch, damn it," Sarah said. "Oh God, is that a helicopter?" She knocked on the window to make sure no one was inside and sighed with relief. "I'm rebelling, aren't I?" she whispered to herself. Sarah looked out the right side window of the rather outdated helicopter, which had brown tints and a half-broken window. Suddenly, someone shouted her name. "Hey, where do you think you're going?" Sarah began to pull up the lever, and between her legs, she focused on the cyclic stick, pressing her feet onto it in confusion at a speed no one could imagine. Suddenly, the helicopter started, and she flew it gradually, relying on her level 3 training. 3 years earlier, her experience with smaller helicopters had helped, but this one was extremely difficult to handle. In a moment of panic, she yelled, "Oh my God, how do I get a grip of this thing? I could not ask for a better day." Frowning. Then, cautiously, she crashed into 3 gigantic trees in a row, turned quickly, and realized this helicopter had some broken buttons. However, Sarah managed to fly to New England, to Nantucket, just 1 hour after finally discovering a tutorial on how to fly a helicopter during her unbearable panic attack. As she slowly arrived at a farm near the lighthouse in daylight, Sarah found a nice, colorful room decorated traditionally, with mostly blue and white wall paintings and flowers in various tones. She squinted and approached the cafe with a grin of relief and gratitude. She stepped into the doorway and was met by Caleb. Although surprised, Sarah had not expected his presence, especially in this particular cafe. Caleb winked. "Hey there, Sarah, is it?" "You are so funny," Sarah replied sarcastically. Caleb admitted he did not expect her to order a latte, so he offered her a black coffee instead. Sarah asked, "Is that yours? Because it looks horrible, let alone tasty." Caleb laughed. "Welcome to my dark life in New England, Nantucket." "What is that supposed to mean?" Sarah asked, utterly confused. Caleb promised he would take her to the location he had mentioned to her in Charleston before he had left her unexpectedly. Their journey began outside the cafe and continued to a nearby park. Sarah pointed at a very bizarre sculpture that looked like an animal. "Was it a wolf?" she asked, stressed by this unusual sight. Caleb stuttered, then took a deep breath and replied, "I cannot know, but I'm sure you will, Sarah." This moment left Sarah guessing.